If I had such a shock absorption system, I guess I'd be running on the curb every day. Today, let's take a look at what the shock absorbers of the most badass off-road vehicles are like. Even on the roughest roads, it makes you feel like you're walking on flat ground. This is a high-performance off-road racing car, and its suspension system is its soul. It not only has to withstand the huge impacts from rugged terrain, but also must maintain the car's stability and handling. The core of the suspension is the springs and shock absorbers. The function of the springs is to support the weight of the vehicle and absorb bumps. The shock absorbers, on the other hand, are not for bearing weight but to suppress the vibration of the vehicle's springs, absorb and mitigate impacts. Otherwise, the vehicle would bounce repeatedly when passing over uneven surfaces. Unlike regular cars, high-performance off-road racing cars usually use a dual-spring design in their suspension, consisting of a softer auxiliary spring on top and a harder mainspring below. There is a sliding limit ring between the two springs, which offers many advantages. The auxiliary spring provides soft elasticity and greater driving comfort under light impacts and low load conditions. When the suspension system compresses to a certain extent, the sliding limit ring contacts the fixed limit ring, and the auxiliary spring is deactivated, leaving only the harder mainspring to function. This design is known as progressive spring stiffness. Such a design balances the ability for smooth high-speed driving and handling large impacts, while also preventing the bending or failure issues that a single spring might encounter under extreme conditions. However, springs alone can cause the vehicle to bounce, so shock absorbers are also needed to absorb the vibrational energy of the springs. The shock absorbers in high-performance off-road racing cars are much more advanced, filled with oil inside, and equipped with a piston with holes through which the oil flows to create a damping effect. Additionally, the top and bottom of the piston are fitted with shim washers, which can be replaced to adjust the size of the washers and the flow rate of the oil, thereby independently optimizing the damping performance during the compression and rebound stages. The shock absorber is also connected to an external oil reservoir, where nitrogen gas is separated from the oil to maintain the oil pressure, and cooling fins are used to dissipate heat, addressing the heat buildup from prolonged high-intensity use. Moreover, multiple bypass tubes are designed on the wall of the shock absorber, each equipped with a one-way valve, allowing the oil to bypass the piston, thus enabling adjustment of softness and hardness within a certain range, which also provides the shock absorber with a high degree of adjustability. However, prolonged movement of the shock absorber generates a significant amount of heat, so it is also equipped with a cooling water tank, installed externally, which dissipates heat through airflow. The shock absorber and spring are mounted on a reinforced frame bracket at the top, with the bottom linked to the trailing arm. The entire rear suspension adopts a four-link design consisting of two trailing arms and two upper links. The trailing arms are connected to the chassis, determining the movement trajectory of the rear axle, while the upper links are responsible for stabilizing the angle of the axle. To reduce body roll and increase tire contact area, there are anti-roll bars on both sides of the suspension system, used to minimize vehicle roll during turns and keep the body stable. To prevent excessive extension of the suspension, the system also includes limit straps, usually made of nylon or Kevlar fibers. That's the entire rear suspension. The front suspension of high-performance off-road race cars uses independent suspension, with upper and lower A-arms on each side, allowing the wheels to remain vertical during vertical movement. This ensures strong grip and maintains